Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to start building the Tamiya DT-04 Fighter NXGEN kit. And we're going to be starting out with step 1 through 7, which is the gearbox. And step 1 is usually just charging the battery, so you don't have to worry about that. And step 7, we're going to go ahead and seal off the gearbox. So let's get started right here in step 2. So for that, we're going to need some of the parts in the gear bag. I'm just going to take it all out. All right, that's going to be this right here. And this lid is going to be that. We'll set those aside. Let's go ahead and find all these gears. They're all going to be in this bag. Okay. So let's see. I know we're going to need to put a drop of grease at the bottom. So let me just go ahead and do that. Again, I'm using the syringe. Then I'm going to drop the gear. Gonna spin that around a little bit. And then we're going to build this part. Going to take those gears like that. Okay, I know it says to grease everything, but I'm going to do that a little bit later when we're getting ready to close it up. This is the differential housing. So there's going to be another gear face down like that, and then we're going to close it up. So now's the time to apply the grease. And all I've done is just drop 3 globs between each gear. And I'm just going to go ahead and spin it a little bit. Yeah, looks like we got pretty good coverage. And then I'm just going to add just a little bit more on top. Before I drop this gear in here. Like that. Okay. And we're going to close it up. So let's see. I think these 3 are going to line up with those slots. And then these holes are going to line up with that hole. Those holes right there. So it's going to look like that. It should snap pretty tight. It should look like that. And let's go ahead and find those 3 MA5 screws. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's these 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop these in. Okay, so we're done. It's going to look like that. So we're done with step 2. Now let's go ahead and work on step 3. And that we're going to need the A tree. And that's going to be this right here. Pretty sure it's going to be this piece. And we need to find this shaft and these 2 bushings. That's going to be in this bag right here. Let me double check. There are 2 here. So let me check which is the correct one. I think they're identical. Yeah, okay. So we got one, and normally we would use the bushings. These are what comes with the kit. I am going to use ball bearings instead. I always recommend it, and I will leave a link to a DT04 full bearing kit. This I just put together myself. I have a lot of bearings and I just put this kit together myself. But there is a company out there, Team JB, who is selling a complete set, and I'll leave a link to them below. Okay, so this is actually going to end up into... It looks like it's going to end up in that hole right here, like that. And we're going to put a bearing in, and then this gear, and then another bearing on this side. Is that right? That looks right. Okay. Let me take that out. So the bearing actually goes all the way down there. All right, now I'm going to just slip a little bit of grease on there. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. Just gonna leave that there. We'll need it. Okay. Let's see what is next. We're going to need another 2 bearings. And we're going to drop the differential in there. Alright. Let me just double check. Okay. Okay. And one bearing is going to go right here. Right there. And one bearing is going to go on top, and looks like we're just going to be dropping this in there like this, like that. Yep. And we're going to be closing it up with the other side. I think it's going to be this piece right here. I think it's going to close like this. Don't forget to put the ball bearing, but before I close it up, let's see, I'm also going to need this piece. I'll find that afterwards because I got 2 screws right here. So I'm going to make sure there's a bearing here that matches up with that. And now I'm going to grease up the gears. I'm getting ready to close the gearbox. I do this so that I don't make a huge mess. Okay, so we're ready. We're going to drop this in like this. And it should close all the way snugly like this. And we're going to grab 2 screws and put one through there. And looks like the other one's going to be down here. And these are going to be MA4, which are these shorter, dark ones. This one's kind of tough because my screwdriver barely fits in there. Okay, now we're going to find F7. And it's going to be on this tree with the roll cage, and it's going to be this piece right here. All right. And we're going to use 2 MA2 screws, which is going to be the longer, dark ones. So it should be this one right here. Yep. And another one. Okay. And how does this go? think it's going to go like this. And I think it's going to be that hole right there and this hole right here. All right. Okay, so when you're done with step 4, it should look like this. Okay, let's go ahead and work on step 5. We're going to need the motor. Let's take this off. Okay, we got the motor. Then we're going to need this gear right here. We're going to need bearings on each side. These black bearings are the same as the blue ones. I just had different batches. It's just the rubber seal. The color doesn't matter. And we need to put the motor plate on the motor. And it's going to be this right here. Okay, and it's going to be these two holes. Going to line up with those two. There we go. And what's next? We're going to connect everything. And we're also going to put the pinion gear on. So let's see. Let's first mount the motor onto the gearbox here. So it's like this. Which direction? Is it like this? No. It is. I think it's like this. So we're going to hold it like this. The motor is going to go in here, obviously. And what screws are we going to use? So this kit comes with a pinion gear. And this is a 17 tooth pinion. And so it shows right here, we're going to be using, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a 17 printed right there. So these two holes. So we just have to make sure these two holes line up with those two right there. And let me grab the screw. It's going to be MA1. So it should be one of these. And this. Okay. Okay, let's see. So let me see if I can line that up. Okay, and then the other hole. Okay, just shift it over. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's matched up. So the hole adjacent to it says 19. If you ever decide to change the pinion gear to a larger one with more teeth, then you would just move the screw over. Okay, there we go. And we're going to put the pinion gear on, and we're going to be using this right here. It's a very, very small screw. There's two of them, looks like. Okay. We're going to use this 1.5 millimeter driver, and I'm just going to start it into this hole right here. Okay. So the good thing is we don't have to worry about gear mesh. Gear mesh is the kind of the distance between the two gears, this pinion gear and the spur gear, kind of that distance right there. But since we have these preset holes to mount the motor, the pinion gear and the spur gear should be in perfect positions. Okay. All right. This pinion is going to go face down, and I don't know if you can see the profile. The shaft has a flat spot right here, I believe. Let's see, where is it? Flat spot is right here, And so I'm going to line up, oops, this way. That screw like that. And I'm not going to tighten it all the way. I'm just going to tighten it enough so that it doesn't fall out. Because now we have to put this in. And it should slide in like that. And as you can see, the two gears don't line up. So I'm going to pull the pinion gear out just a little bit. Okay, now you can see that they're both aligned in the same plane. That's also very important. I'm going to pull this back out. I think I can just pull the gear out. And now I'm going to grease it up before I seal it. This thing does have a cover, so I'm not too concerned. So you just want to make sure everything spins freely. That's awesome. Okay. And I believe the last step is just to close it up. And it's going to be this piece right here, A2. Right, so it's going to be like that. It's such a great fit. And now we're going to use MA4, which are going to be these shorter dark screws. And we're just going to put 3 here. There's 1. There's a situation where my screwdriver doesn't fit again. Now we're done. Okay. So after we seal this, we're done with step 7, and we've completed the gearbox. In the next video, we're going to start working on step 8, which are going to be the rear arms, and it looks like we're also going to work on the uprights and axles. If you're building along and this video helped you, I'd appreciate a like. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.